Your masculinity is key to navigating your world. Your masculinity is key to navigate your world. Yeah, man, it's your boy Alfred once again. As you heard the topic, masculinity, in fact, your masculinity is key to navigating your world. And this is another reason I always advocate for all men to cultivate their masculinity. You see, your masculinity is key. It helps you move around the world. Your own frame, your frame as in your principles, your values. That's what you'll be creating with your masculinity, and it's key because it also helps you in standing your ground. Masculinity has so many advantages for a man. So you have to cultivate that masculinity. You can't move around without masculinity or cultivating your masculine frame or your principles. That's what will help you when things are tough. Your masculinity is there always when things are a bit too helter-skelter. The reason is, the main reason most of the time is because majority of people are emotional. You see, I always say this: a majority of people, right, are emotional. It's not just women. Women were meant to be emotional. They're meant to have emotions, or more emotions than men, right? But as a man, you can't afford to be emotional. Now, I'm not here to argue that a man has to have emotions and shit like that. Yeah, we are all creatures of emotions, right? However, when I talk of man's emotions, I'm really talking about we have to be able to control better our emotions. When we're able to control our emotions, that's when things get clearer, right? We have clarity. Now, it's tough for a man to control his emotions when he has no hold or cannot really have no grasp over his masculinity. Now, cultivating your masculinity, as I say, today's topic is, you need to know that, first of all, you need to know what you're about, what you want from this world, what are the things that make you you, what are the things that make you as a man, what kind of man do you want to represent out there, right? How do you want to handle the world, how do you want the world to handle you? So by doing this, you slowly cultivate your masculinity by, there's a myriad of things that you can do to cultivate the masculinity. First of all, you have to have frame, as in your mindset, right? It has to have principles, things that you stand on, things that you swear by. So even if you are to get into trouble of sort, you can still stand on what you believe in, things that you believe in, things that you value, right? And this will differentiate you from other people, because your masculinity actually, people who do not have those masculine principles, they are easily swayed away from their values and their principles, basically, right? So if you stand on that, it means that you are a masculine man, right? Remember, I'm not here to argue that a masculine man is supposed to be tough, is supposed to be macho. You do not need to be the toughest person. You do not need. This is totally different from being an alpha, right? You do not have to show that you are the strongest or the strongest person, the fastest person, the richest person. Most of those things are just status games, right? A masculine man is just someone who has his principles intact, his values, and he knows where he's going. He knows how to respond to difficult situations, difficult people. He knows how to communicate well. He knows how to communicate his principles and creating order in his world. it's a journey in itself, right? You don't just come up with those principles. And the reason is, the main reason I usually talk about this is because the prior generation to ours, right, and our generation, we were not really, we were not taught such things. Such things were not emphasized. That's because of the advance of feminism, right? The girl child was more celebrated than the boy child. So you find that if you are more into your masculine values, you are more into your principal values, the gynocentric world will kind of shun you, and that was the biggest problem with the last generation. So it's not like they did not really want to be masculine. The men before us, our fathers, right, and our uncles and all that. It's not that they did not want to be masculine, right? It's just that the gynocentric world made it harder because there was advancement of feminism. Well, that's my two cents right there. So by actually trying to eliminate masculine men and masculinity in general, right, and promote feminism and feminine ways of life, right, masculinity in itself was diminishing. It diminished in men, in boys, right? So it's really up to an individual right now, a man. You are over 20, you are over 28 and above. You have to cultivate that masculinity, because in such a world whereby you're only celebrated when you are feminine, when you're in your emotions, it will be hard to really stand by something or really have that freedom. Masculinity is freedom, right? And that's really for men, right? And usually we know that I talk to the men out there right now. So cultivating your masculinity is the one single thing that will clearly get you out of a lot of things, right? A lot of things, a lot of situations that emotional men usually find themselves in. Now, doing this, like I said, it's a long-term thing. You need to have your plan. You have to do things that are much more masculine and minimize things that are feminine. For example, being a simp will be something that will always make you feminine. Putting women in a pedestal will feminize you, right? Not doing things that are vigorous and just wanting a soft life, wanting things to come easy to you, will always create feminine energy. And that's why I'm promoting this, because in reality, women are supposed to have that feminine energy and men are supposed to have that masculine energy. And that's the big difference, right? But however, things are turning, unfortunately. Most of the men are the ones who are having that feminine energy, and most women, the majority of women, are having masculine energy, which really, at the end of the day, this is something that's out of place. It's not natural, right? Now, like I said, I'm not here to define what masculinity is, what femininity is when, as they relate to each other, right? Feminine woman is different from an alpha woman. I know you will come across, especially in the internet, you'll come across women talking about that, saying they're alpha women, we are alpha women. There's no such thing as an alpha woman. A true alpha woman, basically, right? Well, as according to the internet, especially these women who think that because they have this masculine energy, they're alpha. It doesn't work that way. People are starting to define things the way they want, the way they feel, right? A true alpha woman is a feminine woman, a woman who is in her feminine essence. That's a true alpha woman. She's in her feminine essence. She is feminine, and she has all those feminine traits. Now, I'm not going to speak of them. I think you can actually Google them or just research what are those feminine traits. One is, I'll give one example, is one women are always arguing about, and that's actually when she is submissive. A woman who's submissive is one who is truly in her feminine state. A woman who's aggressive, right, well, perpetual aggressive, she has perpetual aggression, she's never in a feminine state. She's not feminine, right? So don't be lied to, right? Don't allow people to con you or dupe you or lie to you, right? There's no such thing as an alpha aggressive woman. And if you hear a woman say she's alpha and she's aggressive, what is happening is that she's not in a normal state. She's just crazy. She's just crazy, and she yearns for that masculine energy. Unfortunately, because she does not allow it, right? Because maybe of her ambition, or she's too into herself, so she does not let an alpha man, right, enter or bring his masculinity into her world. What she does, she tries and cultivate that, which does not work in the long term. Masculine energy does not help a woman in the long term. This is why you only find a lot of masculine women, a lot of them in corporate world, right, or in places where they have to be aggressive. But at the end of the day, that diminishes her femininity, which in the long run does not help her, because a woman is not supposed to be masculine. She's supposed to be feminine. Now, this is not to say she does not have masculine traits. Obviously, a woman, just like a man, there will be elements of masculinity, and a man will have elements of femininity. That's how the world is. We're not totally masculine, right, as men. And the females are not, as in women, are not totally feminine, but they hold a bigger element to femininity, just as men hold the larger element to masculinity. And this is why we are better able to control our masculinity, right? We're able to control our masculine energy, right? The thing is, we need to learn also how to control our emotions, right? Just as much as women, right, are supposed to cultivate that masculinity to help them, right, to connect to a masculine man and not be aggressive. Once a woman is aggressive, she's out of her element, and she will never be able to really create meaningful relation with a masculine man who can help her navigate the world. So cultivate this masculine energy to navigate your world as a man, so you can have better relationships, right? You can know what to do, when to do whatever you want to do, right? We are put in this world to do something. We're supposed to be in motion. We're supposed to be moving, breaking things. That's how men were created. That's how men were created. We're not supposed to just be stalling, just be still, right? Of course, we rest. Obviously, we do things, even if we do things slowly, right? As long as we're moving forward. That's the whole point of our masculine energy and our masculine essence. So navigating this world, right, shouldn't be too much of a complex thing. We should create that world that we want by cultivating our masculinity and making sure that we use it to our advantage. Our masculinity comes, I always say, it comes straight from the Supreme, from the above. Call him God, right? You can call him anyhow, but it comes from the above. It comes from nature. It's our nature. If as a man you are not going to cultivate it and actually hinder that masculine energy, you're going to create a whole lot of problems. And you're going to wonder why you aren't able to navigate certain places or certain situations. So, to recap, right, make sure you're creating that masculine energy. Make sure that as a woman, you're cultivating that feminine energy that will help you grow, that will help you navigate the world, right? And make sure that what you're doing is positive and it is within the principles that you're creating. The principles that you're creating, right? So that you are able to navigate the world proper. So I'm going to stop there. It's been your boy Alfred. This is my second video for the year 2025. Yeah, and I'm hoping things will go your way once you start cultivating that masculine energy and navigating this world proper. With that said, I'm gonna stop there. Till next time, peace.